What's good, y'all? It's your boy Torian, man. We back with another video, man. I'm making two vids. Well, I made two vids today and one day. You know, your boy been working. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Your boy been grinding, man. But yeah, man. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You already know. Your boy gonna keep hitting. He gonna keep dropping bangers for y'all, man. You already know the vibes, man. It's 11 at night, so I might be a little quiet, bruh. But not too quiet though. But yeah, we reacting to a scary video today, bruh. Don't get scared, bruh. You know the vibes, man. You know the vibes with me. But yeah, uh, what we gonna be watching today though? 3 true camping horror stories animated, bruh. Animated. Hey, if y'all want me to watch some like real scary videos, like the real scary stuff, bruh, and see if I get scared or whatever, I do it for y'all, bro. You already know the vibes, man. Alright, but yeah, look, we about to do it right now. So let's go ahead and get into this little vid. You already know the vibes, man. All my socials will be at the bottom of the video. The bottom of the vid. The bottom of the screen right here. But when the video playing, it's gonna be gone, so yeah. But yeah, I ain't gonna talk y'all heads off. Let's go ahead and get into this little vid, man. Don't get scared, man. Go ahead and get your popcorn ready, you know what I'm saying? You know the vibes, man. We got story
Last year,
number 1.
my friend Dorothy and I went camping in the woods. Both of us loved exploring nature. We drove to the nearest hiking trail in my old blue truck and parked it under a big oak tree. We planned to camp the night in the woods and then hike back to our car and drive home.
Isn't it wonderful here?
Yeah, the sun rays feel so great. Even though the woods were deep and filled with tall trees whose tops could barely be seen, the sunlight reached the ground quite well. It must have been 10 or 12 minutes when we heard a loud gunshot. I grew up in the countryside, so I guessed it was the sound of a hunting rifle.
What was that?
Someone's hunting in the woods, I guess. Dorothy and I stopped and looked around. We were expecting to see the one who was responsible for the gunshot, but there was no one. We didn't hear any footsteps, so ignoring the matter, we started to walk again. This small incident didn't startle me. Like I said, it wasn't our first time camping in the woods. The woods were becoming denser with passing time, so we thought to find a common ground and settle for the night.
camping in the woods.
After
bruh.
walking for half an hour or more, we came near a two-way. 2 small trails headed into the woods, one on the left, the other on the right. We were discussing which path we should take when we heard the crunching sounds of dry leaves. Someone's coming here.
Let's wait and see. Maybe we can ask them for directions.
Okay. We kept staring at the hiking trails, confused, but we didn't have to wait long. A man came out from the right hiking trail holding a big hunting rifle in one hand and a dead wild boar in the other.
Man,
Dorothy
got a whole
said in a
dead
low
wild boar,
voice.
bruh.
Now we know who shot
Who
what.
just comes out the woods?
The
with
man
that,
didn't
bruh?
notice us at first, as he was walking while keeping his head down. But when he lifted
Nah, he
his
could be
head
straight,
and
bruh.
saw
He
us
could be
standing
straight.
in the middle of the jungle, he was shocked. He stopped and stared at us for a while. We stood there like before, waiting for him to walk up to us. Once he moved in front of me, I was finally able to see his face. He had messy hair that hadn't been combed in a long time. A foul body odor was coming from him that made the air around us heavy in a second. Fresh blood was splattered all over his trousers from the dead boar. He smiled, flashing his dirty yellow teeth, and licked his rough black lips without breaking eye contact with
Man's
me.
licking his lips
That
without
very
breaking
moment,
eye
a
contact.
voice inside my
Yeah.
head whispered, "This guy is
Yeah.
bad news." But without getting
Yeah.
freaked out, I tried to handle the situation as calmly as possible.
Hello, can you tell us which way we should take?
That depends on how deep you want to go.
Dorothy and I exchanged a look, understanding the dirty pun in his joke. Anyway, never mind. We'll find our own way. We walked past him, being pissed off, but the man just stood there, holding that same filthy smile. I even turned back to see if he was following us, but he didn't move an inch from the previous spot, standing tall and watching us walk away. After some time, we finally found a spot to camp. It was a small, barren patch of land amidst the woods. Dorothy got busy putting up the tent while I sat down to make a fire. As the night fell, the ambiance of the woods started to change drastically. Crickets were chirping from every bush. The echoing howl of coyotes made the environment chilling. I barbecued a whole chicken, and Dorothy got out some beers. After the long walk and a bizarre encounter with a creepy stranger, my mind was too tired to enjoy the true camping vibe.
Are you still thinking about that guy?
Yeah, what a weird dude.
Don't worry, he's probably just not used to seeing two girls hiking in the woods.
I don't think he's used to seeing any girls at all, bloody jerk. Somehow, I managed to let the matter go from my mind and started drinking myself to sleep. We laughed and cherished the nightlife in the woods for a few hours, then decided to go to sleep. The plan was to wake up early and hike back, so we needed to restore our energy. I don't exactly remember the time, but I woke up hearing scratching noises. I was drunk, so at first I ignored it and tried to sleep. But
You wake up
suddenly,
hearing
my
scratching
eyes
noises
went
and
to
you
the
drunk.
end of my feet.
In the woods,
The entrance of
bruh?
the tent was closed with a zipper, and I could see the zipper being pulled
Couldn't be
slowly.
me, bro.
Someone was unzipping
Not
our
you.
tent from the outside. I got up immediately in fear and woke up Dorothy. Dorothy, there's someone outside our tent.
I'm trying to
What?
tell your friend, bro.
Before we knew it, a familiar foul smell choked my nostrils, and that same man from the morning slowly peeked his head inside our tent. I will never be
Man.
able to forget the scene. There was something in his eyes that made me feel disgusting. He didn't say anything, just watched us and
Man,
smiled.
peeped in the tent,
He didn't even
bruh.
get in.
I would have
He just
spazzed,
stayed
bruh.
there.
I ain't gonna cap.
We were so shocked and spellbound that for a moment, none of us made a single move. The man then let out a spine-chilling laugh and said,
Girls like you shouldn't be in these woods at night.
What do you want? Do you want money? Just take our bags and leave, or you'll be in
Take your
huge
bags
trouble.
and leave.
I will be in trouble? You girls are funny. Who are you gonna call? The cops? I highly doubt it.
Saying this, he suddenly grabbed my leg and started to pull me out of the tent. I screamed at the top of my lungs for help, but except Dorothy, no one heard me. Dorothy grabbed my
seen you, you
hand,
and
trying
she
to pull
sweet
me
right
back,
beside
but
you,
the
bro.
man
What
had
you mean?
enormous strength. He pulled me out of the tent and kicked me in the stomach with his boots while I lay frozen on the muddy ground. His one kick blurred my vision as I could barely take the pain. I then heard him going for Dorothy, and she screamed just like me. Then I remembered. I kept a hunting knife under my pillow, just in case. I yelled, gathering all my strength. Dorothy! My knife! Under my pillow! Use it! Use it! The man didn't expect us to carry any kind of weapon, so before he
You
could
better use
prepare
that
himself
knife.
for a
I ain't
counterattack,
gonna
I
lie.
heard Dorothy let out a
better use it.
vengeful scream, followed by another excruciating scream from the man. He fell on his back, holding his face, and Dorothy came out of the tent. She helped me get up, and I
Dang,
saw
she
she
got
had
him in the
stabbed that freak in
face
the eye with
with
my
the
hunting
knife.
knife. The man was sobbing in pain and cursing us at the same time. Taking advantage of his downfall, we
Man.
grabbed our bags and started to run in our pajamas. But the man didn't stop there. He too got up and, growling in pain, took out the knife from his eye. Dorothy and I watched as he pulled the entire hunting knife from his eye, dripping blood like a fountain.
You two skinny bitches. You think you can defeat me? I will cut your skin and hang them dry. I will hunt you down like the wild boars in these woods.
We ran
This is a
for
real
our lives,
story?
but the psycho chased us, bleeding from his eye, yet holding the knife in his hand.
You tweaking like that?
We didn't stop, didn't look back, just ran and ran. When we finally reached the truck, we immediately hopped in. I closed the driver's side door, and the man came rushing at me full speed, trying to get in, but I didn't give him a single chance. Filled with anger and hatred, he walked to the front of our truck and peed on the bonnet while laughing like a crazy lunatic. I wanted to run him over with my truck, but as soon as I started the engine, he stepped back and said,
Be careful. Girls like you don't get lucky every time.
Man talking reckless with
and
one eye.
disappeared into the woods.
Nah, he different. He different.
We
bro.
filed a complaint about this guy, but I don't think the cops will find him. I just hope no other girl ever comes across such a devil. Like he said, not everyone gets lucky.
Yeah, he would have add. Let me know if y'all want me to start just editing them out.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video.
Edit them out,
If so,
or
please leave a like.
just skip them
And
every
also,
time when they
a
come
small
up.
percentage of people
I
that
might
watch
just
my
edit
videos
it
are actually subscribed.
out.
If you want to support this channel and make this channel reach the 1 million mark, please consider subscribing.
Oh, yeah, this
It's
is the
free
channel
and you
for,
can change your mind later.
Who the video
Enjoy.
it belongs to. Shout out to the
This
channel
happened a
that
few
posted
years
this
ago.
video.
My girlfriend Jenna and I were celebrating our 1-year anniversary with a
This is
trip to the
second
woods.
story, y'all.
We were supposed to camp there for a few days and get back home.
The first one was a
I'm
little
so
scary.
sorry I chose that spot.
Nah, it wasn't really.
But
that.
anyway, here's what happened. We arrived early in the morning with our backpacks. There was a clearing between the trees,
But it was a
and the
good
forest
story,
was
though.
so beautiful. We set up camp, got a fire started, and roasted marshmallows. When it was finally time to go to sleep, Jenna said,
Did you know that there's an abandoned prison just half a mile from here?
I did know that, but I could already see where this was going. Jenna was a city bug. I've always loved the outdoors, and I had to convince her to come with me. But she was obsessed with abandoned places, malls, hospitals, you name it. She had her own crew and used to do urban explorations with them. I wanted none of it. I had no idea. But before you get any ideas, we should go back to sleep, I said.
But I've never done a prison. Come on, it'd be so fun.
Listen, it's just the two of us tonight, right? You usually work with a crew. We'd need a whole team to be safe. You and your friends can come back sometime. She got upset with me and rolled her back to me, pretending she'd gone to sleep. The following day, she'd gotten up early and was making breakfast by the fire.
Morning, babe. Have some breakfast.
She gave me a mug of coffee and some bacon and eggs.
So now that it's daytime, would you come with me to the abandoned prison?
Sure, but let's not linger there. We should go back before noon, and we are both taking our hunting knives. We got our backpacks, and we went on our way. I had my flare gun with me in case something happened.
Man's got a
After
flare
walking
gun.
for a while, we found it.
Hey, that might
The
come in
building looked
handy,
like it
bruh.
had survived a hurricane. Some walls were run down, and there were
We're trying to go
vines
to an
growing and
abandoned
bursting through
prison, bruh.
small cell windows.
I wouldn't do that.
Wow, so cool. It looks like it was built in the 30s. I'm sure we can go in.
She was so excited. We approached the gates. They had all rusted away and gave out easily. We went inside. The place was deserted, and strangely enough, the room's doors were all open. The walls were blackened, as if there'd been a fire, but there was no fire damage outside. We went cell to cell, taking pictures. Jenna was speaking into a voice recorder. That's when we heard a loud bang behind us, like metal against metal. When we looked back, the door we'd come through was closed.
What was that?
She grabbed her bag and pulled the knife from it. It was a long blade with a very sharp edge. It was heavy, but she knew how to handle it. I held onto my flare gun in one hand and my knife in the other. My knife was longer, but it was thinner, made for piercing rather than cutting. If someone came through, I'd be able to at least temporarily blind them with the flares. But nothing came.
Blind him.
We need to get out of here, I said. She nodded, and we started walking slowly the other way. We couldn't risk going through the door we just used. We reached the end of the hallway. There were paths, left and right. We should stick together.
I'm starting to get scared. That may have been an animal, right?
Don't know many animals who can shut a door behind them, but I said, sure. I was so mad at her for dragging us here, where we could be having some alone time at the camp. The deeper we went into the prison, the worse things got. We started finding bodies. They were skeletons. They'd been left inside their cells to rot. Something terrible happened here. Maybe there was a riot, I said.
Probably. There's fire damage. I'm surprised the structure still stands.
We had been going up, using staircases to try to reach the roof. Maybe if we got the lay of the land, we could orient ourselves, and I could use the flares to signal for help. There was something wrong here. One of the cells had several skeletons inside, as if they'd been thrown there. The smell was terrible. It felt as if not a living soul had set foot in the building for at least 50 years. And then we heard it again. The same loud bang. Another door had closed behind us in one of the lower levels. We started running up the stairs. The sound we heard then was terrible. It was the sound a pipe makes when it's being banged against the bars of a cell. Clank, clank, clank. Someone was walking very slowly between the hallways, chasing us.
Oh God, run! The door's right there!
We made it to the other door, and after hitting it as hard as we could, it burst open, and we were on the roof. We got out and shut the door behind us.
Man,
We found a
what you
few
gonna do
metal
once you get
bars
to
in the
roof,
ground,
though?
and we used them to lock
Wanna
the
jump
door
off?
down. It would buy us some time. There was a loud bang at the door, someone hitting it from inside. The bars we put on the handle may give up at any moment.
I'll go hide next to the door. When whoever is there breaks through it, I want you to shoot a flare at him. Shoot one to the sky now.
I did as she suggested, shooting a flare at the sky, hoping someone will see it. Then, she got into position. When the door finally gave in, a man ran at me. He was tall, bald, and his face was covered in scars. Jenna was by the door, now behind him, grasping the knife firmly. I took aim and shot. The flare hit the man in the eye, blinding him.
Man, I took off
He
his
let out
face,
a
basically.
harrowing scream.
Hey, ugly.
Okay, I see you.
When he
man.
turned
You got
around,
some aim.
Jenna slashed his face with her knife. He grabbed his face, tripped on some debris, and fell flat on his ass. "Good job, babe," I yelled, but it was a short-lived triumph. The man grabbed Jenna by the ankle and got up quickly, throwing her to the ground. He took the knife from her hand, and before I knew it, he had thrown them at me. I raised my arm to cover myself, but the knife caught my arm, sending a shockwave of pain through my body. I fell
It's
to
in
the
my
floor,
arm, bro. I'm
and
telling
I
you,
nearly
I'm-
passed out
I'm
from the
going
pain.
Crazy on that, man,
But
bro.
now he was moving toward Jenna.
No, get
I would
away
just
from
let
me.
my
Get the
girl
hell
eat-
away from
eat
me.
up, bro. Like,
He grabbed her neck and lifted her
yeah,
up.
That man grabbed my girl.
With his
neck,
free
you gonna
hand,
have some
he
problems.
grabbed a knife he had in his belt and stabbed Jenna in the stomach with it. He stabbed her over and over again until she stopped fighting back. "No, you monster!"
No.
I was so scared and so hurt by losing Jenna, but I knew I had to escape. The man turned to me with a smile and began to run in my direction. I jumped to the side, avoiding the knife as he tried to stab me, and I replied with a stab at his torso. But I missed, and my knife was buried on the side of his stomach. He yelled, but he'd live. Jenna was gone, and I had to
Kill your
live.
girl.
I
You
ran
gotta
down the
kill that man.
staircase. He was having trouble following me, so I had that advantage. I nearly lost myself in the corridors and cells, but tracing back my steps,
You
I
let that
managed to
man
find my
live,
way
bro.
out.
Like, he ain't just kill your whole
A
girl,
typical
bro.
tea commercial would show me
You know, yeah,
boiling
he
this
would
water
have,
in my
bro. Oh my
artisanal tea
gosh,
kettle.
bro. I
But
don't like how
this
you
is
let that
Choice
man
Organics
live.
Grapefruit Honeybush tea.
After,
And this is my artisanal
I don't like how
microwave.
you let that man live.
Try a
bro.
refreshing taste of reality
kill his
with
whole
Choice
girl,
Organics
bro.
tea.
I just set it to popcorn.
We got hit with a ad. I'm about to try to edit it out probably. Skip it.
It's been years since that day. I immediately went to the police, and they did a search of the place. They found Jenna and signs of our fight with the monster. The cops tell me that his DNA matched one of the long-dead serial killers. Apparently,
Man, this was a whole
he had
serial
faked his own
killer,
death
bro.
and was
Oh
living
my
under the
God.
radar in that abandoned prison. There's a manhunt for him now, because when the police did a search of the nearby area, no one could find him.
And now
The
they
state
can't find him,
claims they
bro.
will
You shoulda
demolish
killed
the
him, bro.
prison, and a new
killed
investigation
him.
promises to find the man and bring him to justice. But I will help. I'm going to find him and make him
Let that man
pay.
kill your girl. The next
It was our
story
yearly
3.
tradition. Every July, after the 4th, we pack our
Man, it's like
bags,
the last
jump
one.
on Mike's old truck, and we go camping
I
for
like the
about a
second
week.
story. It was
This
nice.
time there were 6 of us instead of the
It was a
regular
good
5.
story.
We've been doing this since our junior college year, and it was always the 5 of us: Mike, Jason, Carl, Patrice, and me. However, this time around, Mike decided to bring his new girlfriend, Samantha. We couldn't say no. Mike owns the truck, and apparently, Samantha had just been through a really tough time with her family. Her father had gone to jail for tax evasion, and she needed a break. So we decided to be nice about it. even though none of us had ever met her or even seen a picture of her. She'd only been dating Mike for a month. The second we saw her, I got a very bad feeling about that trip. I should have listened to my gut. She was very skinny, almost like a skeleton, and her skin was extremely pale. She looked sickly. Her eyes had this emptiness to them. It's really hard to describe. Everyone meet Samantha.
Hello.
Mike was energetic and happy for us to meet his girl, but she spoke in a dim voice, in very hushed tones. It was almost as if she was asleep. No emotion whatsoever. The other guys introduced themselves, and we were on our way. Having a girl over changed our entire group's dynamic. We couldn't talk about the things we wanted to talk about, and it was very annoying. Something weird was that she seemed to realize this, giving each of us weird looks through the rearview mirror. A few hours later, we made it to camp. It was a beautiful clearing in the Californian redwoods. It was the height of summer, the hottest day of the year, so we got plenty of sunscreen and got to work setting up our tents. There was one for each of us. All right, I'm out to get some firewood so we can get that fire started. Cool. I'm heading to the river. Let's see if I can catch some fish. Cool? Cool.
I can help you with the fish, Carl. I'm a really good fisher.
Everyone kind of froze when they heard her. She had been quiet for most of the trip upstate, and now she wanted to help with fishing? We'd be surprised if she even had the strength to lift a fishing rod. But Mike smiled at us nervously, and Carl said, "Sure, let's go." I helped the others set up camp, and we went about our day. Patrice, Mike, and me stayed behind. Hey guys, thank you for being cool about Samantha being here. It's been difficult for her family, losing their father like that. What is it that he did? Did I hear something about taxes? Yeah, his company had been messing around with that, and they caught them. They lived in Florida, but they moved out here to California. That's weird. Why would they leave him? They won't even visit? I don't know. She doesn't want to talk about it. And I respect that. She'll open up when she's ready. He sounded defensive, so we dropped it. The sun started going down when Patrice asked, "Where are they? Guys sure are taking their time to get some wood and some fish." Yeah, that's weird. Let's go, Dave. Hey, Pat, you mind staying here? We'll follow the river and see if we can find Carl before it gets dark. For sure. We started walking toward the nearby river. It was Carl's favorite fishing spot. We were walking along the shore when we saw a small bundle of yellow and green clothes. It was between the rocks. What the hell? Mike, is that Carl's jacket?
Mark.
Damn, I think it is. Let's go. When we came close enough, we saw it was Carl, lying face down. The water around him was red. He was partially submerged in the river. Next to him, the fishing rod and a bucket full of fish. No sign of Samantha. No, God damn it, no! We ran at him and turned him around. To our horror, his eyes were open, and he had a huge cut on his throat. He had bled to death.
Man, got cut.
No! Carl, no! Please! I was horrified, but we had to go. Our cells were back at camp, and we needed to alert the others. Mike, let's go. We have to let the others know. Someone just killed Carl. Let's go! I had to use all my strength to physically pull Mike away from Carl's body, but eventually I managed to do it. He was crying so much. Carl was his best friend. They'd grown up in the same street, same school, same college. We started running back to camp. When we arrived, I explained everything to Patrice. He was horrified. We immediately grabbed our phones and called 911. We explained what we found to the dispatcher, and they told us they'd send the rangers to check it out. A moment later, we heard a rumble in the bushes, and Jason emerged with horror in his eyes. His face was covered in cuts, and he was holding his arm, which was bleeding profusely. Oh my God, Jason, what the hell happened to you? Jason looked at him, enraged. Oh, you won't know what happened? Your psycho girlfriend did this to me when I was chopping wood. I heard some noise, turned around, and there she was, holding a knife. She attacked me. What? No way. It made so much sense. She'd attacked Carl when he was distracted fishing and tried to kill Jason too. Patrice got back on the phone with 911, but before any of us could react, we heard another noise coming from the bushes, and suddenly, Jason was very still. His eyes were open wide, and his whole body seemed stiffened. A moment later, he fell to the ground, face forward. There was an axe, his favorite axe, buried in his back.
Man, favorite axe in his back.
We all screamed in terror. It had gone dark completely, and we had no fire. So we grabbed our flashlights and pointed them at the bushes. No sign of her. Samantha had just killed Jason. Oh, God! We ran to the truck and got it started. We sped down the road, leaving everything behind. Then Mike's phone rang. It was Samantha. He answered and put her on speaker.
Baby, come back. I miss you, and I miss your friends.
You're sick! You're so sick, Samantha!
I guess. Like father, like daughter, right?
What do you mean?
You're so innocent. You really believed it. The whole tax of...
God, you better add.
Download this app today.
You're just getting good, bro. Come on. Let's go ahead and skip this little ad, man.
A chill ran down my spine.
My father didn't have a company. He was a normal guy. But he killed my little sister, and he beat me most of my life. I guess I turned out like him. Carl never saw it coming. Jason was silly. Jason fought.
I hate you! I'll get every cop in the state to chase after you. We already called them, and we're driving back to the city right now.
Yeah, I assumed you would. I bet you're going really fast, aren't you? Have you tried slowing down?
We were going at more than 110 miles an hour down a highway. Mike stepped on the brakes. Nothing happened. Oh my God! Oh God!
What's wrong, sweetheart? Can't stop?
She had cut our brakes. We were doomed. We heard her laughter on the phone. There was a curve coming up, and we had no way of stopping. Mike lost control of the wheel, and everything went black. I woke up at the hospital. The doctors explained to me that I had severe fractures, but I'd be okay with therapy. Patrice was dead. It was the crash. He died on impact. As for Mike, the paramedics found him with his throat slashed. The doctor also told me there was a police officer outside. When he came in, he explained that they identified Samantha as Jessica Smith, and she had a warrant for her arrest in 3 states. This was the first time she killed someone. The cop told me she probably thought I was dead, and so she let me go. I went home after a few days. All my friends were gone. A few months later, I got a text from an unknown number. The area code was the same as mine. It read, "I loved going camping with you all, but don't think for a second that I forgot about you. See you soon."
Man, that was the end of it right there, bro. Man, I done clicked on a whole nother video. 3 true camping horror stories, animated. Yeah, that was a good little video to react to. It was something to watch. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm not about to tell y'all his out, but it's been your boy Torian, bro. Hopefully you liked the little video. All my socials at the bottom of the screen. And yeah, we're out, bro.